Glen Coco.
All right, we running, boys?
This is a mic test to see.
This is a mic test to see if we running, boys.
And we are going to measure the length of our peens.
All right, here we go.
Zoop. Wow, this is a solid over 15 inches.
Oh, mine is under 15 inches. I guess I'll have to get some extra small condoms.
That is correct. Good job, Aiden.
Good job, Gabriel. I love you.
Goof, what are you doing?
I'm counting my winnings from the casino.
When did you go to the casino exactly?
Earlier today, but the song by Kenny Loggins told me that you can't count your money while you're sitting at the table.
Why is that?
I don't know, but he said so I did it. I tell you, I got some pretty good winning. They all say one, so that's like the number one chip you can get, right?
I do believe that means that you actually won $1 billion.
Oh, yes! I will use this money to take over the entire tri-state area, and supplemented by my alimony check from my wife, Charlene. I will finally be able to create my newest invention.
What would that be?
The Charlene-inator!
Does that duplicate your alimony checks?
No. It breaks my heart and runs away.
I'm sorry, Doof. That sounds like a bad invention.
I think that is very siloed thinking of you.
I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to insult.
What are we doing here today, Gabriel? You've already insulted me enough.
Well, the first thing I need to ask, of course, is where do you plan on placing the self-destruct button?
Well, I plan on placing the self-destruct button. You know.
I see.
Inside her left nostril.
Well, everybody, welcome to episode 1.0.1.2 of Goofin with the Doofin.
That's
Doof
right.
Goes to college.
Doof goes to college. I'm a student now.
Where do you go to college, Doof?
I go to college at the most prestigious university in the entire town.
Which would be?
Tri-State Area University, Danville branch.
What's your class size?
It is 8 people. Half of them older than me, and we all go to school at night.
Now, what's your intended major, Doof?
GED. I don't know what that means, but they told me it's a pretty good one.
I agree. All right, so on this episode, we will be reviewing the game, Nicktoons Attack of the Toybots.
Yes. Okay. So now, Gabriel, you showed me like a few minutes of the trailer for this game. I've never played it before, so I'm just going to do my best to work with what I have.
Okay. So let's just say you've seen a small trailer of this game.
I did just say that.
But let's just say that you have.
Okay, fine. I agree. I'll just say that we have now. Whatever.
What are your initial impressions?
Initial impressions. Well, first of all, the combat looks absolutely rambunctious.
Good or bad rambunctious?
A mix of both.
Now, do you feel the playable characters represent a complete roster? Or?
I do. I actually like how they rounded it out at the end with Nickelodeon executive Dan Schneider. As just like they put him in one of those green ball suits, but they filmed him, but it looked like they didn't remember to take the ball suit off when they put him in the game.
So now that we have Dan Schneider as a playable character, how do you feel about the future of potential DLC for this many years old video game?
Well, I think, first of all, if we get anything new, we're going to get all of the main cast of Nicky, Ricky, Dicky, and Dawn, my favorite Nickelodeon show. My daughter Vanessa, she tells me she hates it when I play it, but she is my child, she's my little girl, and I know she just says she hates it so I don't have to watch it. She cares about me so much, so I always make sure to put it on for her when she's over.
You really do love your daughter.
I really do. Some people have told me it's inappropriate.
Now, where do you think the, how did you feel about the lore behind this?
Well, from what I could tell from the trailer, it looked like all of the Nickelodeon shows got together and then shat metal all over the place, and there were some like landmines, but they didn't explode. I guess that's not lore as much as a physical descriptor of what happened.
I believe those were the enemies. It is called Attack of the Toy Bots, because there is a mad scientist who creates toys that are replicas of your favorite goofy, wacky Nick cast.
I did find that I really related to the mad scientist character. He really reminded me of myself. Powerful, scary, threatening, all of the things that I am.
Large baby-headed.
Enormous baby head, yes. A large disembodied floating baby head.
Now, how did you find yourself feeling when you saw the fact that Danny Phantom does canonically die in the end of the game?
Well, I thought he had it coming, honestly. If you watch the show, he's a ghost. Like, it would make no sense if he didn't die at some point. Otherwise, why does he even get to be a ghost?
I believe it was because his parents put him in a strange machine.
Was it a very strange machine?
I do believe so.
Now, what exactly was this machine designed to do?
Connect the portals between the human and ghost world.
Now, I thought it was designed to view a world unseen.
That is a less scientific approach to
That's a fair point, yeah, but I guess sometimes to make it rhyme, you have to dumb down the science a little bit. As a writer of prolific scientific poetry, everyone in Love Muffin reads it. It's very popular. Okay, I really find that happens.
Would you like to talk about Love Muffin briefly?
I would in a minute, but I'm kind of stuck on the fact when I used to watch that show, I found that there was no self-destruct button I could see anywhere.
Well, what do you think about the big red button that Danny presses when he goes inside that causes him to have the strange explosion that gives him his special powers?
I guess it did destroy Danny a little bit.
So maybe it was a Danny self-destruct button.
Maybe it just is a metaphor for how people are their own worst enemies and they destroy themselves. I personally can't relate. I mean, I've never done anything to get in my own way.
I honestly, with your work ethic, I would believe so.
I don't need your sarcasm, Gabriel.
I'm being completely honest, dude.
Bullshit!
I love you too, Doof. Now, what else? So, how do you feel this game stands up to other games in your experiences? Would you draw any comparisons between?
I think the first
Attack on the Toy
comparison I can draw from Attack on the Toy Bots is to, okay, have you played that game Elephant Quest?
I do believe that I have.
I
That's
thought
the one featuring the predominantly female cast of elephants in armor.
I believe so. The game at one point says ass in it, and I think that is completely inappropriate for child users. So I think Congregate should put up like a warning or something for the game.
Yeah, we do need some better parent restrictions on Congregate. Now, did you feel like the eclectic cast may have been a little bit overwhelming at times, or did you feel right at home with all of these your favorite Nick guys?
I did feel right at home with all of my fellow Nickelodeon friends. I once starred in a TV show on Nickelodeon.
What TV show was that?
It was called Phineas and Ferb. I was one of the main characters. I played this person totally different from me, okay? He was this, like, crazy scientist. His name was Doof and Schmertz. They added this ridiculous thing to the end of my name. And he wore a white lab coat everywhere. What a fucking loser. Sometimes it's fun to really get out of your comfort zone.
Now, did you have anybody else that you knew also predominantly featured in this television show?
I did. I was really good friends with Ren and Stimpy. I knew them. We used to get high together in the parking lot behind our school.
Now,
Ren was my plug.
refocus this back.
Say it into the mic, you coward.
Doof, I do believe we need to get back on track with the game review.
He's a coward. He can't talk about the real shit.
I'm just not a hardened street thug like my good friend Dr. Hines.
Thank you.
Now, did this make you feel anything like from, say, your childhood or your past that sort of brought up maybe good, bad?
I think it brought up some feelings, especially the SpongeBob surfing level. So there's this part of the game where you walk into this cave-like. Really, the whole thing is very cave-like. I think Plato would really enjoy it. He could write an allegory about this game. Yeah. So you walk in here and you are SpongeBob, one of your favorite boys from the Nickelodeon franchise.
Yes.
And then you stick out your tongue and you surf on it down this like really long path.
Now, did you find this relatable, or did this just remind you of, like, say, dirt eating in Gimmelstump? Or...
It reminded me of... First of all, it was dirt licking. Let's get that straight. That is why it reminded me of it. Second of all, I'm feeling really attacked right now that you assume I don't have any other things I can relate to in regards to SpongeBob surfing on his tongue down the cave.
Well, Doof, I'm sorry. What else do you relate to?
Nothing. I'm just upset that you assumed that.
That would be my bad. I'm very sorry. I take back my assumption.
Asshole!
Would you like to expunge deeper on these events and how they made you feel?
They made me feel. That's it. I haven't felt a thing in years.
Now, Doof, I think we do need to get some final conclusions and then maybe put this one on.
I would actually like to have some first conclusions before we get to the final conclusions.
Okay, let's start with some first conclusions.
Okay, first of all, the game is a game that I think I would really enjoy to play. I don't know why I'm not in it because, like, that's my one issue with the cast, right? From being a member of a Nickelodeon show, I'm very offended that I was not considered to be in the game.
Okay, that's fair. They did have a pretty small budget of a couple $1 million, but I think it is completely respectable for you to be upset about that. What about some middle conclusions?
Well, as for middle conclusions, I want to skip those and get right to the final conclusions.
Okay, let's head straight to the final conclusions.
I think Nickelodeon might be running out of money. Hear me out here. Their first offer to me was for $5 an episode for Phineas and Ferb. Now, I didn't have any better offers at the time, so I was like, yes! And then, okay. Then, the people from CSI came up to me and offered me $6 an episode to star on their new TV show, CSI Miami Los Angeles, because they thought I had the...
It factor?
Yes, the it factor. Or it was my shifty eyes. I'm not really sure which one drew them to me, but it was probably the it factor.
Were you actually the criminal each episode?
No, because I wasn't allowed to accept the deal. Nickelodeon made me sign a only Nickelodeon only contract.
That is a very legally binding contract. I'm sorry to hear that. Now, to wrap things up, what would you rate this game?
Probably 7.
Anything specific or just 7?
Well, I would say 7 out of 9.
So that's a pretty good score. All right. Well, that has been Doof and I's review of Nickelodeon Attack of the Toybots.
Thank you, Gabriel.
Thank you, Doof.